high school hockey contest between the Saint Xavier Bombers and the Moeller Crusaders. All teams, family, and friends, thank you for coming out to a GCL Hockey Night here at Heritage Bank Center. It's now time to introduce the starting lineup for the Moeller Crusaders, or the full lineup for the Moeller Crusaders. Wearing number 1, a freshman, Leighton Kidd. Number 3, Zach Zelenowski. Number 11, Jesse Mercaldi. Number 13, Curtis Black. Number 15, Ryan Lytle.
It's GCL Night here at Heritage Bank Arena at the home of the ECHL Cincinnati Cyclones. And we got 2 games on tap on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports as Saint Xavier battles Moeller. First up, the JV Bombers and the JV Crusaders. Have a nice turnout of fans right below us here in section 211. This is Lee W. Mound with you here, and I am quite honored to be part of this GCL night. And I want to thank Coach Elliott Johnson of the Bombers for allowing me to be a very small piece of this fantastic event where high school hockey comes to Cincinnati.
Number 82,
as the Moeller Crusaders are being introduced, they're donning the golden jerseys with the Moeller M on front. And the St. X Bombers don their white kit with the blue shoulder blades. St. X, their first year in the Capital Hockey Conference, along with Moeller.
Number 3, Patrick Crowley. Number 4.
As all the JV Bombers and Crusaders being introduced on the ice. To tell you about these JV squads, the JV Bombers have been in the Capital Hockey Conference for some time now. Both teams are in different divisions in the JV side, whereas St. X in the white division, 1-1 in CHC JV play. Moeller, 1-1 in the red division. And 5-3-1 overall. St. X JV is 5-4. Mentioned it once, I'll mention it many, many times throughout our broadcast tonight. It's quite an honor to be a small part of this event. Again, thank you to Coach Johnson and St. X for allowing me the chance to come down here and broadcast this game from the banks of the Ohio River. It's the Heritage Bank Center, formerly known as the U.S. Bank Arena a couple months ago, and again, the home of the ECHL Cincinnati Cyclones. Couple number changes in for the Moeller Crusaders. Joshua Herron will wear 47 tonight. Quinn Herron will wear 28. Kyle Fitzpatrick, the head coach of the JV Crusaders. Joe DiGiorgio, the head coach of the JV Bombers. Just feel the environment up here. It's fantastic to be a part of it. And here comes the anthem. So we're stepping aside and come back after this.
Teacher at Saint Xavier. In addition, he coaches the state champion cross-country team along with the track and field team at Saint Xavier. He also gives his time to run chapel for the Saint X hockey teams. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Wheatmartian.
Let us pray. God of all life and goodness, we thank you for the gift of athletics and the game about to be played. Keep our athletes sick and free from injury, and strengthen them in mind, body, and soul, so that they may play their best game every day. Give all of us, players, coaches, parents, and fans, a deep respect for our opponents. May we see in them the noble contender who brings out the best in us. Give us the humility to win graciously and the courage to lose proudly, so that in the game of life we may seek first the ultimate goal of your kingdom. We ask this in your name. Amen. St. Ignatius Loyola and St. Francis Xavier, pray for us.
Thank you, Andy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and kindly remove your hats and welcome Ben Kemper as he sings tonight's national anthem. Ben is a junior at Saint Xavier and is a member of the Ensemble X, which is the chamber choir. Ben also plays ultimate frisbee and is active in community service. He enjoys singing and is very excited and honored to sing tonight's national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ben Kemper.
Great rendition of our national anthem. And it's hockey night in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Heritage Bank Center, the home of the ECHL Cincinnati Cyclones. We got two matches for you tonight. And first up, it's the battle of the JV Saint Xavier Bombers and the Moeller Fighting Crusaders. This is Lee W. Mound with you here. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube, the home of South Metro Sports. Quite a busy weekend if you love hockey. Starting tomorrow, we'll have the Mayor's Cup. The non-Centerville games will be here. And I'll have all those calls for you from tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, for yours truly, this feels like the pinnacle of my career. Still lots higher to go for yours truly, but the view here is fantastic. And being a part of this, I'm I'm at a loss for words. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity, and I hope it shines through the broadcast, and I hope you have yourself a good hockey time. We have 45 minutes of JV hockey, 45 minutes of varsity hockey here in Cincinnati tonight as the Moeller Crusaders take on the Saint Xavier Bombers twice. Again, for your JV squads, the Bombers are 5-4 overall, 1-1 in the white division of the Capital Hockey Conference. Moeller belongs in the red division in the JV side. 1-1-1 are the Crusaders, 5-3-1 overall are Moeller in the Fighting Crusaders. Kyle Fitzpatrick, your head coach of the Crusaders, and Joe DiGiorgio, head coach of the Bombers JV side. Chasing it back is St. X. Their offensive zone checked in the near corner, swept forward by St. X. Moeller trying to escape it 20 seconds into our contest here from the Heritage Bank Center. Swept back by Moeller and Ryan Lytle, who played quite well in the varsity game against Springboro, where the Crusaders took it 2-1 against the Panthers at South Metro just last weekend. Moeller trying to sweep it in. We'll have a whistle. And offside will drop it in the neutral zone by the Cincinnati Cyclones logo. It's been in existence for a couple years now. 39 seconds into our contest, no score. Ginormous scoreboard hovering over center ice, as going for the faceoff was Moeller. I believe that was Quinn Herron. Bombers trying to shoo it away. Controlled now by Ryan Make that Adam Gilmore, who also has spent some varsity time with these Bombers. It was in the preseason game against Springboro. Down this way, it's a nice drop from Jesse Malcaldi. Around the near corner, belted away by Johnny Coburn, a sophomore at St. X. 13:45 remains in our opening period here. Heritage Bank Center, swept back by Mac Doxey. Try to stop it at the point, slips through the stick of Nathan Shalver, and hot on his tail goes St. X's Brian Driscoll. Follow St. X hockey. Driscoll, great hockey player last year, varsity-wise. Down this way, here come the Crusaders in the neutral zone. 13-18 remains in the opening frame, and the Crusaders go for a drop as St. X chases the puck back. It's controlled now by Ned Harold of the Bombers. Cutting towards the far side, looking up top for Patrick Crowley. Now sailed down by Moeller's Ryan Lytle once again. Bombers keep it in front of the dashed red and white line, which came with the new look of the Cyclones a few seasons ago. Touched up the stick of Michael Billups. Round the near corner, pulled in by Joshua Herron. It's got some help behind. That's Jaden Berrigan. And down this way, the Bombers, Patrick Crowley gets it loose. Swept back by Ryan Lytle of the Crusaders. 12:34 to go in the first period. And that's going to be icing the call against Moeller. We'll have a change of the line for the Crusaders. The Bombers keep all five on the tarmac with 12:32 to go in the first. No score here in the JV game. JV Capital Hockey Conference, a little bit different than the varsity side. The varsity Capital Hockey Conference is a face-off to the near side, handled by Zach Zielinowski. Puck rolls back towards the end board. Zielinowski touches it up again, going for Nick Wosey. And now handled by Moeller's Jake Hilkowitz. Hilkowitz, far side, can't find his intended center and Cade Connell. And a whistle and a stop by St. X's goalie. That's John Piowitz, a junior for St. X. Getting the start in net for the Bombers. As a face-off over towards the left, Mac Doxey in for the Bombers. And I believe that's Brady Shaw on the other side for the Crusaders. 12:09 remains in the first period, no score. Battle in the near corner, lost stick, and swept by St. X's Elliot Watrous. Belted towards Zach Zielinowski, waiting by the blue. His defensive partner, Jade Hilkowitz. Now in the near sides, the Crusaders in the gold, battling the Bombers in the white. 11:45 to go in the first period, still no score. Lace back this way. Pushed forward by Gabe Vogelsang. Lanuski, the sophomore, touches it up again, going back for Hilkowitz, Jake Hilkowitz. And the Bombers have the puck right underneath. Taken down was Ethan Gick as the puck sweeps around the near corner. Moeller pushing through. That's Brady Shaw, a freshman, and his shot is blocked off the body of Adam Gilmore. That's the toughest save made by Adam Gilmore, where you use your whole body, but a great save turned in by Gilmore with 11:09 to play in the first. Still no score here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. A 2-on-4 back this way as the Bombers stuck in the ref crease. Pushed through by the Bombers and controlled again by the Crusaders, who have 3 defenders back in their own zone. Attacking through goes Ryan Lytle. The broken stick on the blue line as St. X's Adam Gilmore chases it back. Drop towards the far point. Here's a blast going wide of the reach of John Pielwitz. It's taken by Moeller's Bo Shebetka. And a 2-on-2 back this way. Going for a drop in the far corner goes St. X's Carter Heekin. Larger roster for St. X compared to Moeller's JV side, with 10:25 to go in the first period and no score. That is in terms of bodies on the bench. Belted past the ref crease as Moeller goes for another swap. That was Bo Shebetka as his shift expires. Towards the neutral zone, the Bombers have it in the middle of the eye. Drop towards the near side, giving chase to Moeller's Kale Shebetka. Dealt on the other side, Landon Stacy, the freshman. Stopped at the far point by St. X's Alex Szymanski. 9:55 to go in the first period. Shot goes wide to the reach of Leighton Kidd, who was the backup to Brandon Morton-Strauss and Moeller Varsity's 2-1 win against Springboro at South Metro. Yours truly had the call. And we'll have a delayed penalty. The Bombers last to touch it. And we'll have our first penalty be a trip with 9:41 to play in the opening frame. The penalty boxes are on the other side of the benches. The benches are on our side, the near side. And in for St. X, that's Michael Highland, the freshman, getting called for a trip. And Moeller has the first power play of the game. Again, 9:41 remains in the first period. No score between Moeller and St. X here. GCL Hockey Night. A great tradition. The biggest rink in Cincinnati. One of 4 sheets remaining in the Queen City. Tripping the call on Highland as Moeller getting to work. Shot goes wide by Moeller. Cade Cannell. Belted back and it's slowed down by the defense. A whiff on the shot in the near faceoff circle. Pulled back by St. X. And coming back this way goes Brian Driscoll. Slowed down now to Johnny Coburn. Around the corners it goes. Liam DeGroff, the closest bomber there. It's picked up by the Crusaders. Nick Wosey again. 1:27 remains on the power play for Moeller. There's no score, and we have played 6 minutes in the books here in Cincinnati. A rush on the near wing by Moeller. That's Cannell again. Now we'll have to go back towards the point to reclaim the puck for Moeller. Finds Nick Wosey in the far corner. He's got a bomber, Adam Gilmore, stripping the puck and going for a clear opposite of the reach of Ryan Lytle. 1 minute to go on the power play. Our first 5-on-4 of the game. It's Moeller's in the golden jerseys. Giant numbers on the back, just like the home whites. Delayed offside on Moeller. It's dropped down. The Crusaders trying to play it between the points, looking now for Joshua Heron. And the Bombers come up with it. That's the JV captain, Adam Gilmore. Around the far corner, 8:20 to play in the first. Still no score. 37 seconds left on the power play. Heading back towards this way, the Crusaders have Bo Shebetka back on the ice near the near faceoff circle. And a miscue on that pass has the Crusaders going all the way back in their own zone to retrieve the puck with 25 seconds left on this 5-on-4. Turnover, it's the St. X's Brady Shaw. Scratch it, wrong team. That's Jack Parroll. My apologies on that. For the Crusaders, a quick pass towards the far side in the neutral zone. That's 2-on-2, but 10 seconds remaining on the 5. And shot by the far faceoff circle is gloved by John Pielwitz. No score, 7:49 to go in the first. As the first power play set to expire, 8 seconds left. Face off to the far side. Michael Billups, opposite of St. X's Max Doxey. Mac Doxey, I beg your pardon. 3 seconds left on the power play, stopped by Kidd, and we're back to even strength. Shots on goal favor the Crusaders 3-1 at this juncture with 7:35 to go in the first period. They are brought to you on the bottom of the scoreboard As Crusaders push through, heavy Bomber presence in front of a racing Quinn Heron. Crusaders keep it in their attacking zone, but it will find the stick of Joseph Pielwitz. He's a sophomore. Kept it in the near point, Zach Zilanowski. And now the Bombers skip it towards the goalie of Moeller, settled down by the Crusaders. Similar records for these JV, Moeller, and St. X teams. Ref crease. Try to keep it in. Ethan Gick bumped. Controlled now by the Bombers. Back to Ethan Gick. Far side. Pushing through. Past the blue line. Onside. Puck stripped away by Moeller's Brady Shaw. And back this way will come the Crusaders. Underneath the legs of Cade Cannell. He'll have to pick it up by the boards with 6:41 to play in the first. Still no score. Down this way. It's jammed up. Therefore no icing. As Moeller's Ryan Lytle retrieves it, swings away from an incoming Bomber, now tackles the left side, going for Cade Cannell. Cade Cannell, and it's back to Johnny Coburn on the Cincinnati Cyclones logo. It'll trickle across the far corner as the Crusaders pick it back up towards the right, intercepted by St. X, and just out of the grab of Peter Devo. And down this way, the Bombers defense carries it. 6:07 to play in the first period. No score between the JV Bombers and the JV Crusaders on GCL Night. Got two great games on tap for you. We thank you for choosing the YouTube home of South Metro Sports to catch it all here. Back to Johnny Coburn, working the far side. He'll push towards the circle, losing on that final burp. Lytle laces it up ahead, and cutting through, looks like that is Berrigan. Berrigan bumping into the shoulders of Carter Heekin. Behind the goal line. Moeller trying to get the puck back. It's recovered by the Bombers, who played quite well defensively. Moeller is still out shooting the Bombers 3-1. 5:27 remains in the first period. Still chipped in on a dump, but all 10 Crusaders and Bombers stay out there. In the attacking zone, Moeller, a golden opportunity. Berrigan, here's a blast, does not get to the goalie. That was last touched by Shebeka on that block shot. Back to Moeller, however. Shot between the points, trickles off the leg, rebound is in front of John Piowitz, and the junior dives on top of it with 5:04 to go in the first period. Great work by John Piowitz, keeping the puck out of the net. Moeller doing a very nice job in their attacking third, maintaining possession. That gives Moeller 2 more shots on goal for a 5-1 advantage, favoring the Crusaders with 4:55 to go in the first period. 0-0 your score in this JV battle. We play 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Bombers looking for a push. The Bombers have done a nice job getting the puck in their attacking third. However, just one shot on Leighton Kidd. Back towards the far corner, going back for it. St. X's Gabe Vogelsang. Pushing it up ahead is Carter Heekin. He's met with the resistance of Moeller, and Lytle laces up ahead, cannot find Michael Billups cleanly. Back this way, off the C, it's Wosey. Wosey on the right wing, opposite of St. X's Vogelsang. 4:16 to play in the first, still no score. Pushing back that way goes Wosey, looking for Joshua Heron, the sophomore in the far corner, stripped away by Gabe Vogelsang. The Bombers have it again. They're in the home white jerseys this contest. I believe they are the home team in this GCL night. Both teams showing their colors proudly. Moeller has navy and gold, St. X a lighter shade of blue and white. Trying to push it on through is Joshua Heron. And now the Bombers coming back this way. 3:39 to play in the first. St. X will drop it behind the red line, and that's going for icing on the Bombers. Icing on the Bombers here in the first period. John Piowitz, the junior, takes on the freshman Leighton Kidd. This JV battle. Your varsity battle should have Brennan Mortenstrauss. Face off towards the near side. Lytle between the points, scooping away from a Bomber, closing in far face-off circle, and St. X with another defensive strip. Bounces behind the back of Nick Wosey and goes in the neutral zone, and settled down by Zach Zilanowski. Off the far boards towards the skyline advertisement. Shot goes high over the reach of Kidd, by St. X's Liam DeGroft. Far point, Lytle with the catch save. 3 to play in this first period. No score. Shots on goal still favoring Moeller at a 5-1 advantage. Pushing through, the Bombers have it. That's a shot and it goes wide. Good read on the rebound by Peter DeVoe. And here's Kidd. He'll swoop in and make the stop with the left hand. Both teams make a change on the ice. In case you've noticed here that the goalposts are not red, they are blue. And if you can read that, they have the Geico ward mark on it with 2:42 to go in the first, still no score. That's the deal with the ECHL, as all ECHL teams' goalposts are blue. It's very unique. One-on-one back this way, shot saved by John Piowitz. John Piowitz on the one-on-one. Great patience there by Moeller. That's the 6th shot on goal for the Crusaders. And we'll drop it to the near side of John Piowitz. Shot off the face-off. Taken by Bo Shebeka. Saved by John Piowitz. Down this way come the Bombers. Swept forward and turnover back to Moeller. The Crusaders have been working the possession game quite well. Shot. John Piowitz says no. Near side. Off a couple legs and controlled by the Crusaders defense. Once Jake Hilkowitz retrieves it, but the stick of Patrick Crowley not too far behind. 2 to play in the first, still no score. Far wing time for Michael Billups. He'll slip past the reach of Alex Szymanski. Far corner action. Loose puck near side, kept in by Moeller. Around the near side, it's the captain for St. X, Adam Gilmore. Adam Gilmore sweeps it around the near bend, looks to feed Patrick Crowley. Believe he's got a brother, Peter Crowley. As Adam Gilmore towards the left, and pushing on through comes Jack Perrell. Perrell held up past the blue line as Moeller retrieves the puck behind the goal line with 1:25 to play in the first. Still no score. Lots of great hockey, and Moeller has 8 of the 10 shots here in this first period. John Piowitz has definitely stood on his head for St. X between the pipes. Leighton Kidd, 2 saves of his own. Far point feed, looking for Gilmore. Plays it on the bounce on the near side. Looking towards the face-off circle. His shot hits off the body of Moeller. That was Kale Shebeka as we enter our last minute of the first period. Hard to believe that's already by. Here's Adam Gilmore's shot. And a nice up-top catch by Leighton Kidd. My apologies for the camera work, yours truly. Not too skilled on the camera side of things, but what a nice catch by Leighton Kidd. Going top shelf with a body in front. As the faceoff happens towards the near side with St. X. Elliot Watrous plays it, shot down low. It's bouncing right to Moeller, Landon Stacey. I've seen Elliot Watrous play with the Cincinnati Swords last year in the Buckeye year-end tournament, and he was a defender with, I believe, Zach O'Connell. The Swords team won their only game at South Metro. They played most of that at Northland, I believe, possibly Sports Plus. Gentle tip up ahead. The Bombers work a 2-on-2 with a third Crusader lurking behind the blue line. Here's a blast going wide by Mac Doxey. The near side, Kidd. Rebound jammed up. Good opportunity there by St. X. That was Mac Doxey again. Puck slips all the way back towards the far side, crossing the goal line. 5 seconds left. That's icing on Moeller. So you can see Cincinnati Cyclones, their social media feed on that goal line. First time broadcasting here for yours truly at Heritage Bank Center. And we'll drop it towards the right of Leighton Kidd. For Moeller, it's Brady Shaw. Loose puck, Michael Billups. And that's going to slip by. The final horn will sound. And that's 15 minutes in the books. Moeller and St. X are scoreless. Good first period. Moeller doing a nice job. The rebounds and the turnovers. That could hurt St. X. But the defense of the Bombers been outstanding. As it looks like both teams are heading to the locker rooms. The Zamboni giving the stop sign. But we'll have an ice cut An ice cut here in Cincinnati. One period done in the JV game. Moeller 0, Saint Xavier 0 here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. We'll be back after this. It's the end of the first intermission as we head to the second period. A scoreless affair in the JV game where the Crusaders are out shooting the Bombers 8-4. Here at the Heritage Bank Center, renamed that just a couple months ago. Formerly the U.S. Bank Arena, then formerly the First Star Arena, but that did not last as U.S. Bank, like many big banks back in the heyday, they absorbed the smaller banks. That's how U.S. Bank stuck for so long. This rink has been up since the 70s. That's right, it has been alive since the WKRP and Cincinnati days. The Cyclones have played here twice historically. The current rendition of the Cyclones actually were born in Louisville, Kentucky as the River Frogs. Bounced around, I believe the Miami, Florida Matadors were involved in the history of the Cyclones. Very successful franchise in the ECHL. You see the banners, mostly with the old logo. That was a classic logo back then. And some of the new logo. Last year, a great regular season. Playoffs just a little bit the opposite story as the Cyclones fell to the Toledo Walleye in the second round. Bombers now flying in from the right to the left, and the Crusaders spearing in left to right. As Leighton Kidd still in the net for the Crusaders, opposite of John Piowitz, with Simon Kelly as the backup. And we're about ready to drop that puck again. There it goes. Here's the second period. As the Crusaders in the gold, the Bombers in the white, and a one-on-one race towards the near corner as the Crusaders, Jesse Mercaldi, gives a race. Gilmore had a slight touch for the Bombers. Heading back this way. In the neutral zone, a couple bumps. Matt Doxey still keeps it alive for Ethan Gick. Gick cannot send it on target, shown here. And now on the far side, it's controlled by Doxey. Turnover, here comes Moeller. Your shots on goal in the first period finished 8-4 Crusaders. Crusaders looking for the first shot on goal in this frame as they're back in their attacking third with 27 seconds gone from the second. A one-on-one race as the Bombers off the back of Zach Zielinowski. There's a shot and a save off the face mask of Kidd. First shot on goal in the second period goes to St. X as Gilmore delivers it for the far side. Adam Gilmore. Belted forward by Zielinowski. And the Bombers, there's a shot. Glove by Kidd. Rebound wide. Good look there by X and Elliot Watrous. Heading back this way, that's going to go for icing on Moeller. Good start in the second period for St. X with 13:50 to go in the second frame. Bombers coming out. They did commit a turnover in their first trip in front of Leighton Kidd. But got the puck back. Elliot Watrous, the best shot. Just going a little wide as we'll have a face-off to the far side. The puck trickling back. And St. X trying to keep it alive, but pushing on through for Moeller. Cade Cannell. Here's Cade Cannell on the far side, dropping it towards the slot, and score! I believe Nick Rossi touches it in. And the Crusaders are on the board first with the lights dimming around the rink. And Moeller leads 1-0 on their first shot on goal in the second. Crusaders with the first blood drawn tonight. Face-off center ice, pushing through. Moeller once more. That's Nick Wosey. I believe Wosey had that tip in front of John Piowitz. Wosey the goal. And Cade Cannell an assist. 1:20 in the second period. And the Crusaders have taken the lead. Out of the neutral zone, the Crusaders swarm on top of it with a retrieval from Brady Shaw. Pushing up ahead goes Wosey. He's got the goal. Now in the slot. Score! 5-hole! Brady Shaw! 13:07 to go in the second, and the Crusaders have struck twice. Span of goals taken about 33 seconds as Brady Shaw got it underneath the score, the 5-0 of John Piowitz. And Moeller leads 2-0 just like that. 2 shots on goal in this frame and 2 goals in the back of the net for the Crusaders. Brady Shaw.
By number 32,
Wosey gets an assist. And that is exactly 33 seconds between goals for Moeller. Settled down now by the Crusaders. Looking far side for Billups. It's intercepted by St. X. But brought forward by Shawver. Up ahead, it's a 2-on-1. Billups has the far side and shot and save John Pielewitz. Flip back at the far point by Shawver. Coming on in, looking for a one-timer, Zilanowski. He keeps it alive for the Crusaders in the gold. Swept forward by St. X and Brian Driscoll. And down this way come the Bombers. There's a nice drop pass. The rebound save off Kidd. And Kidd tumbles into the side of the net and makes the stop. We'll fix that blue net. And we'll have a brand new Army of Crusaders and a brand new tarmac of Bombers join the ice. Shots on goal now favor Moeller 11-8 overall. But it's 4-3 St. X in the period. 2-0 Moeller your score. 12:07 to play in the second frame. Back to the Crusaders. It's slowed down with a stick of Moeller's Jesse McCaldy. Intercepted right to Jaden Berrigan. However, lost the puck, gets it back past the blue line, works the near side opposite of Ned Harold. Berrigan pushing it through, finds a friendly Crusader and just tipping away from what could have been the third goal. Good reach from Mercalde. And now down this way, here's the Bombers looking to cut in that deficit. Rebound, stuck on the ice. Ryan Gick unable to sweep it on target. Bombers have been pushing this second half. They have already amassed 5 shots on goal. There's the 6th that was taken by Carter Heekin. Around the near corner, the Bombers trying to keep it alive as the Crusaders lead 2-0 here. 11:15 to go in our second frame. Bombers just one down the shot category, but trailing by 2 and pushing through is Jaden Berrigan again. He gets around one defender. He's got Harold in front. Loose puck, and it's swept up by St. X. Turnover. Blast, and that goes high, taken by Cade Cannell. He's got an assist on the first goal, does Cannell. Back to the blue line, jammed up front. It stays with Moeller. Pushing through, and another goal for Moeller, Cade Cannell. His first with 4, 13 gone, and the Crusaders have come alive out of the locker rooms in the second frame to lead 3-0. And currently out shooting the Bombers 12-10. Face off center ice with Moeller's Brady Shaw getting the second goal opposite of St. X's Mac Doxey.
Crusaders goal scored by number 25.
3 goals in this frame from Cade Cannell. It's unassisted for Cannell. That's great puck handling for Cannell.
25, Cannell, unassisted.
As these turnovers by St. X. Giving Moeller extra life. There's going to be a penalty on Moeller. Thought it would have been roughing on St. X. And we're going to have elbowing the call. And that's going to put St. X on their first power play of the game. We'll have 10:19 to go in the second. I believe they're calling on the elbow before the shove down. And in the box will go Moeller for their first trip to the sin bin. Moeller's 0 for 1 on the power play. And in the box goes Cade Cannell. Shots on goal favoring the Crusaders, 12-10 with St. X. 5 shots in this frame, make it 6 shots on frame to Moeller's 4. Face-off is Berrigan for Moeller. Flip through looking for Mercalde. Mercalde, as Sia White slips past one Bomber, works the far corner, and turnover. Here comes St. X on a 4-on-3, making a 2-on-2. Power play time, St. X. Trying to wrap around the cage. Gilmore, the power play finisher. 3-1 Moeller. Power play taking 22 seconds. Power play goal for St. X. Gets the Bombers on the board, but Moeller maintains a 3-1 advantage. You can't ask much more from your captain, Adam Gilmore. Power play goal taking about 30-some seconds and change. 5:06 in the second period. Off the 5-hole off the defender. Peril gets the assist. As Moeller back to even strength. Wrapped around, picked up now by Coburn. Moeller on the stick, almost goes in the back of the net as Pirouette's down. Puck stays alive. Moeller gets it back. Here's Gilmore with a sliding kick. Sweeping away from the closest Crusader. John Pirouette's yet to reset. His goalie stick is trapped under his legs. And the puck is sliding all the way back. That's going to buy John Pirouette some time to reset. That's also going to be icing on the Bombers. Very risky that time. But good job by the Bombers defense holding true that against Moeller, who scored the first 3 goals of the game before St. X gets a power play goal. Moeller out shooting the Bombers 13-11 with 9:10 to play in the second. Crusaders up by 2. It's 3-1. Near side retrieval, neutral zone by the Crusaders, Kale Shebeka. Now for Wosi. He's got the first goal. Shot save, Kidd. Flip forward, still alive, however, unable to handle it in the slot. Braden Preston. Around the near side, settled down by Shebeka, Kale Shebeka. Waiting on the other side is Liam DeGraw for the Bombers. And the loose puck is connected by Cade Cadell. Far side time. Bombers working a uneven 3-on-2. Drop towards the slot. Does not get to the intended target, and almost a collision there between defender and John Pirouette's in net. 8.5 to go in this second period, where we have seen 4 goals so far. We're about halfway through the JV contest, where Moeller leads 3-1 here in GCL Hockey Night. Behind the goal line, it's swept back, and St. X intercepts it. There's a check on the back of Braden Preston, trying to keep it alive for the Bombers. To Preston, slips out of his reach, and heading on the far side by the Meyer boards, and Carter Heekin unable to keep it in. Moeller coming back this way. It's a 3-on-2. They'll swat towards the near corner. Great turnout of fans. Free admission. If you wanted to see high school hockey at its best in Cincinnati, Ohio, this is one of the places to do it. And when else can you see high school hockey here at the Heritage Bank Center? Bergen's got it for the Crusaders. Good puck work. Keeps it alive. Swept back by Gil Bloom of the Bombers. Moeller behind the goal line. 7:37 to play in the second. 3-1 Crusaders. Pirouette will stab at the puck like a cue ball, and that shot goes wide from the far side. Bo Shebeka. Crusaders defense across the eye of the Cyclone. Bouncing down the far corner and checked up by Ned Harrell. Harrell away from the reach of Jesse McCaldy again and slips out of the reach of defender Nathan Shawver's grasp. For an icing call on the Bombers. However, St. X uses this time to swap out 5. So does Moeller. In the ECHL, the pro hockey, you're not allowed to do that. If you commit an icing infraction, you have to keep those 5 out there until you can make a legal swap, which is right after the face-off if you can time it right, but you have a defensive face-off. Back that way, ref crease covered by the Crusaders' Hilkowitz. Turnover, St. X looking to chip into the steps it even more. Good feed and a shot by Kidd. The puck is still alive, but this is going to be on target. After John Pirouette lets it go. That's why you don't listen to me. Listen to what's happening out on the ice. And that's icing on Moeller. Shots on goal are even, 14-14 with 6:51 to play in the second. 3-1 Crusaders. Goals by Wosi, Shaw, and Connell. Adam Gilmore's got the power play goal for St. X. Their first trip on a 5-on-4. And the Bombers waste little time making it work. Michael Billups, far side, drop it to the slot. It's swept away by the Bombers, stopped at the far point by Zelenowski. That will bounce over the reach of Pirouette, stayed alive, and just hammered wide by Joshua Heron. Great job by Joshua Heron to keep it alive. Now the Bombers have a 4-on-2 back this way, with a third Crusader sneaking in. Here's Michael Highland trying to get a piece of it, the freshman at St. X. This game here, you see a lot of future in the varsity and varsity side. Both Moeller and St. X try to work it around. That was Mac Doxey, unable to do so. But a breakaway opportunity, incoming one Bomber defender, and the Bomber defender sweeps in down low and retrieves it. Johnny Coburn. Towards the neutral zone as Moeller, fresh on the ice, Nathan Shulver again. 5:53 to play, and up ahead, here come the Crusaders. Jammed up again was Nick Wosey. Good job by the Bombers defense, keeping Wosey up front. Loose puck, it's the Bombers again. Shot goes wide of John Pielewicz. Back towards the neutral zone. It's pushed through by the Bombers, and it's going to be wide of Leighton Kidd in front of the red line, so we'll still play on. Controlled now by Ryan Lytle. Lytle part of the varsity team with the Crusaders making the trip up to Centerville to tackle. It's a strange combination of tangle and tackle with the Springboro Panthers, a game that Moeller won 2-1. Shot is punched away by Kidd off the stick of St. X's Elliot Watrous. 5:11 to play in the second. 3-1 Moeller, your score here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sportsplex. Thanks for joining us tonight. Far point save. It's blocked in the neutral zone. Make it the face-off circle. Down the neutral zone goes Lytle. Lytle, a 2-on-2, and a third Crusader looking to sweep it up. That goes wide off the reach of Cade Cannell. Moeller's got it again, going far side. Lytle at the near point by the Cincinnati Children's logo. Sweeps it around the near corner, and down low looking for it. Believe that's Highland again. Highland taken down. The Crusaders retrieve it, and back out this way. It's controlled by Ethan Gick of St. X. 4:35 to play in the second, and that goes through the legs of Moeller's Nathan Shulver. Shulver will pick it up in the far corner to keep it away from the closest bomber. On the other side is Ethan Gick. Shot goes into the mob and swept back by the Crusaders. And now Moeller up ahead. Nice job with the stick by Gabe Vogelsang, poking it away. And the Bombers like to push it out of the neutral zone. Moeller will send it back in their attacking zone with 4:11 to play in the second. Shots on goal now favoring the Bombers, 15-14. Which would be 11 shots on goal in this period for the Bombers compared to Moeller's 6. However, Moeller has 3 goals to St. X's 1. Under 4 to play in the second. We're halfway through this contest. 1 of 2 tonight. We have the varsity game up next as Moeller pushing through. That's McCaldy far side. They're around the far bend in front of the Zamboni doors. Around the near side and handled by Jake Berrigan. Berrigan opposite of the stick of Gabe Vogelsang. The two will tangle. Loose puck. Pushed through. That is stopped by Jake Hilkowitz. Bombers come up with it again. 3:33 remains in the second period. 3-1 Moeller, your score. Up ahead. Delayed offside becomes current offside. That pass bounced off the stick of Jack Perrell, who's got the assist on Adam Gilmore's power play goal. And that's going to be a neutral zone face-off by the UC Health logo. Face-off on the red dot, controlled by the Crusaders once again. Racing back is Lytle. A good speed for it, away from Patrick Crowley. Bombers trying to get a shot on goal. Does not get on target. Adam Gilmore, good touch, but it bounces off in front. Crusaders going to push it through. The Bombers have it in the neutral zone. 3:08 to play in the second. 3-1 Crusaders, your score. Back this way, settled down by Ryan Lytle again. Stringing it up ahead, looking for Michael Billups. Loose puck, back to St. X. Delayed offside, the Bombers have to retrieve it in the neutral zone. With Alex Szymanski driving. Lytle again. Lacing it, looking for the lone Crusader up top in Joshua Heron. Still alive for the Crusaders, however, right to a St. X defender and carrier. And now down this way will come the Bombers in white with the classic St. X logo on front. A little bit different than the Xavier University X. Had a nice win against the men's basketball team. Had a nice win against Western Carolina. As I see the Bombers band starting to make their way into the Heritage Bank Center. Very nice to see. And we should have a very loud environment. I believe that's going to be whistled offside by the Stripes. And we'll have a changing of the guard for both Moeller and St. X. 2:15 to play in the second. Moeller 3, Saint Xavier 1. Face-off far side neutral zone. Kick back as the Crusaders maintain it. A gentle flip by Jake Hilkowitz. And sliding all the way out of his crease is John Pielewicz. Adam Gilmore. A turnover back to Moeller. Hilkowitz far side in front of the point. St. X trying to push it through. Crusaders up by 2 as we're under 2 minutes to play in the second. We should have another ice cut in the second intermission. Take away and a shot off the crossbar. Oh, that was close by Cade Cannell. Almost connected on his second one, but he hits off the Geico blue foam on the net. Now down this way, the Bombers will drop it behind the goal line thanks to the stick of Braden Preston. Puck going towards the far corner where Preston retrieves it again. No one in the slot as Moeller intercepts it. Back around the near corner, and chasing it will be Moeller's Nick Wosey. He's got the first goal for the Crusaders. St. X, there's a shot. Save, John Piowitz, off the stick of Cade Cannell. Very good shooting skills by Cade Cannell. Very impressed with both these teams as Moeller registers their 15th shot on goal. Both teams counting for half of the 30 shots we've seen. The advantage still lies with St. X in this period. They got 4 in the first, but now 11 in the second. Face off near side, back to Lytle. Lytle blasts one, and that hits off the scrum in front. Loose puck in the slot. Here comes St. X working a 2-on-2. Michael Highland on the far side. He'll take a defender down, avoiding a check, but back up is Kale Shebeka. As we're down to our final 60 seconds of the second frame. St. X looking to get one more before another trip to the locker rooms. Trip towards the far side. Kept in by St. X's Ryan Gick. Back to Lytle. Lytle handles it, left hand, scoop towards the glass. And it will find Bo Shebeka on the other side. Out of the reach of Mercaldi, who will play it in the near side. The band now walking in front of us. And now here's Berrigan. Lost it off the stick of Carter Heekin. But retrieved by the Crusaders, looking for one more underneath the legs of Bo Shebeka. And laced on target, it's Leighton Kidd sweeping it gently towards his right. 20 seconds left in the second period. 3-1 game. All 4 goals in this frame. 3 of them by the Crusaders. Down this way, it's Lytle again driving. 10 seconds left. Straight ahead with a feed. Looking up top for Nick Wosey. Wosey works the right wing, trying to jump around the body of Carter Heekin. Turnover, St. X. 3 seconds left on the Cyclones logo. Ref crease. And 30 minutes of hockey have been played in Cincinnati. The Zamboni doors opening up once again for the Cyclones unit as both teams head to the locker rooms. Good period by Moeller. They start off with 3 straight goals. Nick Wosey, Brady Shaw, Cade Cannell. But St. X gets a power play goal from Adam Gilmore with Jack Perrell helping out the cause. And that's 2 periods here in the second intermission. Shots on goal favoring St. X. 16-15 for a grand total of 12-7 favoring the Bombers. We'll take a break and come back. The third period will be among us shortly here. It's GCL Hockey Night in Cincinnati, Ohio, with the Moeller Crusaders leading the Saint Xavier Bombers 3-1 in the JV battle. It's the end of the second intermission. We had ourselves quite the second period here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Thanks for joining us here from the Heritage Bank Center, the home of the ECHL Cincinnati Cyclones, right next to Great American Ballpark. Of course, the home of the Cincinnati Reds. And not too far away, Paul Brown Stadium, the home of the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, the Bengals might be having a rough year, but you know what? We got an NFL team. Not every city in the world can say that. Zooming up to the top row of Heritage Bank Center, you see some of the retired numbers. Pete Rose up there. I think they did that, what was that, 10 years ago or something? They had a ceremony about that. Number 7 retired too. The 7th member, as you know. It's a nice rink here. Of course, you might know about the fact that Cincinnati is no longer hosting the college basketball playoffs in a couple years. It got moved to Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Not too far away from here, but still kind of a gut punch for Cincinnati. Not sure what the future of this place holds. Hopefully a renovation might be in the cards, make it up to the 21st century, but still I feel like I'm on top of the world. Bombers back from left to right, and Crusaders again right to left here on the ice of Heritage Bank Center. Bombers and Crusaders, GCL Night. And no, GCL, the Greater Catholic League, does not field hockey. That is the Capital Hockey Conference for both these schools now. Starting this year, Saint X, part of the CHC, after winning the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League tournament 3 straight times. Shots on goal favor Saint X 16-15. And in the second period, the Bombers outshot the Crusaders 12-7. However, 7 of those shots, 3 of them went for goals for Moeller. In fact, the first 3 of the game with 42 seconds gone, trying to get one of those back. Moeller's Brady Shaw. He's got the game winner, and nothing changes on the Saint X side of the scoreboard. Bombers trying to push it through. Laced through back to Ryan Lytle, who's got one of the alternate captain A's on his sweater. Back to the captain, Adam Gilmore, Saint X. The Bombers band, as Gilmore takes a tumble, Adam Gilmore does. The Bombers band has taken a place behind the Moeller attacking near corner. Like I mentioned, love when a band plays at a hockey game. It's got that great feel to it. Blocked on that shot was Patrick Crowley. As the Crusaders maintain it, turnover, Crowley, and he can't dial it up for Elliot Watrous. Back this way, Moeller pushing through, slipping on through, getting taken down, Ryan Lytle. Just 2 penalties in this game. Saint X 1 for 1 on the power plays, Moeller 0 for 1. 3-1 Crusaders, 13-18 to go in regulation. Down this way, it's scoped up by Zach Zielinowski in his sophomore year at Big Mo. Whiff on that shot by Joseph Piowitz, and it's recovered by Berrigan and the Crusaders. Moeller leads by 2 as we played 2 here in the third period, and no shot on goal as of yet in this third frame, although both teams have had a couple good looks against John Piowitz in net for Saint X and Leighton Kidd for Moeller. Bombers in their own zone trying to chase the puck away. Ned Harold takes a tumble. There's a shot. Great one-timer. Rebounded on home, Jaden Berrigan. And the Crusaders lead 4-1, 12:41 to go in the third. And that is your first shot on goal of this third period. Jaden Berrigan hits the back of the net, a perfect feed to him, and the one-timer paddled on past the right side of John Piowitz. It's a 4-1 Crusaders advantage, another 3-goal lead for the Gold and Navy. Face-off trickles back to Jake Hilkowitz.
Assisted by number 24, Bo Shvetka. Time in the Moeller goal, 2:19.
2:19 on that goal in the third. Now here's St. X, spaced out 2-on-2. Score! I thought Kidd made that shot, the save on the 5-hole, but it trickles on through, and the Bombers answer right back like that. And that's the Bombers' first shot on goal in the third. And the first shot on goals of the third turn into 2 goals, 1 for each team. 4-2 Moeller, another 2-goal advantage for Big Mo.
Saint Xavier goal, scored by number 27, Jack Harrell. Unassisted at 2:30.
Unassisted goal for Jack Parrow, our second unassisted goal of the game. Cannell's was unassisted for Moeller. The last one, the second. Excuse me. Here's a 2-on-2. Great move. Trickled off the stick, and Kidd jumps on top of it. Patrick Crowley, the last one to touch it for the Bombers. Puck comes loose towards the near side. 4-2, Moeller, your score now. Shots on goal favoring the Bombers, 18-16. At this juncture, that is 2-1. Controlled now by Joshua Heron in the near corner. Drop it back far side. It's Quinn Heron now. As the Crusaders pushing back offensively. Back to Adam Gilmore, who chips it towards the St. X bench. And the Crusaders on the defense. Here come the Bombers. Shot goes wide off the reach of Johnny Coburn. However, it's still Coburn's puck. Lost his balance. Turnover, and Moeller's got a 2-on-1. Spun down the blue line. St. X takes it right back. Settled down now by Zilanowski. And now back to the Bombers, Brian Driscoll. I believe it was John Driscoll last year or 2 years ago, varsity member of the Bombers. Great player. This St. X and Moeller squads, they have had some great teams. In fact, varsity-wise, I believe Moeller is the top-ranked team in Southwest Ohio. Ranked with the Central Ohio teams due to the shortage of varsity teams in Southwest Ohio. That's Cincinnati, Dayton, and Troy, and Columbus mixed in on that. Tip, no icing. Moeller's got to go back and play it with Zach Zilanowski retrieving it behind the goal line. Maintained by Ryan Gick. And now here comes Moeller. Flip up ahead off the hand of Joseph Piowitz. Joseph Piowitz trying to push it through, but the Moeller attack keeps it alive for the Crusaders. Moeller drew first blood in the game and also in this third period, but St. X came back and scored as the PA announcer was finishing up Moeller's scoring line that time. There's a check that turns the puck over for the Bombers. And working the far side, slipping away, Michael Highland. It's back through Ryan Idle, who's played a very good game as defender for this JV squad. Like I mentioned, does have some varsity experience this year. Came up with the Crusaders in the varsity game against Springboro. Springboro does not field a JV team. Down this way, tangled up, is Brady Shaw. Shaw's goal is no longer the game winner. That would be Cannell's if St. X's 2 doesn't change into 3. Left around the corner, heading on towards the near side with the Crusaders and the Bombers. 4-2 Moeller, 9:23 to play in the third. Sliced by Moeller, heading towards John Piowitz. They'll let it go, no icing. The Bombers back on top of it as more fans continue to file into this historic Riverfront Coliseum. At least that's what it was first called back in the 70s when it was open. Flipped on the far side to Johnny Coburn, the sophomore. Pushing through, here comes St. X. Walking the far side, Peter Devo. Flips it wide of the cage of Leighton Kidd. Jammed up, and it hits off the protective net. I believe that's the first time that's hit off the protective net tonight. Glass is quite taller compared to the rinks around Cincinnati and Dayton. The glass is about, I think it gets as tall as it is on the sides here at Heritage Bank Center, but it's probably the tallest around Cincinnati and Dayton. Face off near side, shown here, with St. X's Elliot Watrous going in. Looking for Mac Doxey on the right wing. Back for the Bombers behind the cage. 2 misfires on the pass. Slowed down by Watrous. And slowed down now off that clear by Alex Szymanski. Moeller's got it again. 8.5 to play in the third. Both teams have scored a goal in this frame. Moeller still with a 2-goal advantage. It's 4-2 Crusaders over the Bombers. This is a JV game, and the varsity game will be up next. And you can watch both of those here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Again, thanks to Coach Elliott Johnson of the Varsity Bombers for allowing me a chance to be a part of GCL Night in Cincinnati. Michael Billups retrieves it for the Crusaders. Stopped at the far point by Alex Szymanski, and the attack keeps going for the Bombers. Off the shoulder of Landon Stacy. And picked off far side on this 2-on-1 shot is saved by Kid Watrous with that shot on goal. And Kid gets immediately mauled up by the Crusaders, who now head out for a line change. Great save there. Watrous point blank. As the Bombers now out shooting the Crusaders by 3 at this juncture. It's 19-16, which would make it 3-1 still. Not a lot of shots on goal in this frame thus far, but here's a nice 2-on-2 package save by Piowitz. Cannell looking for his second that time. Down this way comes Gilmore. Centers it up. Swarmed by 3 Crusaders. Jammed up by Moeller. Near side time. And St. X recovers it. Some open ice now as Crowley sends it on target, but a bit wide. As Lytle spun down, lost the handle. The pass cannot get cleanly to Driscoll. And now it's a one-on-one back this way with Colburn, the defender. Colburn chips it away from Lytle in this battle of defenders. Goes behind the goal line with 7:08 to play in the third. And a 4-2 Moeller advantage. Both teams, similar records on the year. 5-4 the JV Bombers, 3-5-1 are the Moeller Crusaders. The JV side of the Capital Hockey Conference, not as many teams as the varsity side of the Capital has, but still lots of good hockey. Worthington Kilbourne has a JV squad. Unfortunately, not a varsity squad as of yet, I believe. Chipped away by Lytle. Loose puck as Kidd goes down low. Pairing just in case if Crowley got a piece of it. On the near side, back to Joseph Piowitz. Pinballed up ahead for Perrell, who's got a goal and assist for the Bombers. And back this way, here comes Mercaldi. Mercaldi in the slot, sent it wide left. Loose puck towards the near faceoff circle. One Bomber sandwiched in gold. Mercaldi again drops it back towards the point. Off the bounce, it's Shawver. We'll have a whistle, and the penalty has been called for cross-checking. Cross-checking the call. And the sin bin doors open for Moeller. St. X 1-for-1 on the power play. Didn't even need the full time. Almost didn't need the first quarter of that power play. But we will have ourselves a face-off. Cross-checking the call against Moeller's Bo Shebeka. And now we'll drop it over towards the left with the Bombers' Carter Heekin going for the face-off. Like I mentioned in the second period, there's a nice clear and a nice stop on the blue line by Adam Gilmore. Far face-off circle pass off a Kidd's shoulders to the far corner. Trying to trap it was Highland. I tell you, the PA announcer reminds me a lot of B-Man, who was the PA announcer for Dayton Hockey when it was the Bombers. There's a shot save, Kidd. Wasn't the first PA announcer for the Bombers, but came in a little bit before the Nutter Center move, I believe. Heck of a job. I wish Dayton Hockey would come back, especially to the ECHL, but you need a place for that. Stop far side. St. X keeps it alive. Now towards the near face-off circle. It's slowed down by Doxey. Plays it in the near corner towards the crease. And there's Kidd. Nice job keeping Michael Highland's attempt out. There's a blast and a power play goal. 55 seconds in. You better not call him Little Mac. That's a power play goal. The Bombers 2 for 2 with the 5-on-4s. Taking 55 seconds. And the Bombers trail by 1. 5:15 remains. And a timeout has been taken by Moeller. Great power play goal.
Scored by number 11, Matt Doxey. Assist to number 13, Johnny Coburn. And number 20, Carter Heaton. Time of the power play goal, 9:45 of the third period. Repeating the Bombers' goal from 11, Doxey, from 13, Coburn, and 20, Heaton at 9:45 of the third period.
As you heard that score, Mac Doxey power play goal. Bombers 2 of those. Now trailed by 1 as the Crusaders call time. The shots on goal now favoring the Bombers 23-17. That's just 2 for the Crusaders offense. 1 goal in this frame for Moeller. They haven't been as sharp as they were in that second period. Whereas the Bombers have now taken advantage of 2 power plays. And here's a nice cross. And jammed up was DeVoe. Kept alive at the far point, past DeVoe. Racing on his Ryan Lytle. Good speed by Lytle. He'll chip it over towards the near side. But St. X keeps Moeller defense on their toes. That's Zilanowski out there behind the goal line. 4:48 to play in the third. And the Bombers trail by 1. And a shot by Kidd and a tangle up in front of Kidd. little bit of an accident there. That's okay. Stuff happens. And the Bombers are sending out a new offensive line. Ryan Gick out there with Carter Heekin. Part of that power play goal assist. Face off now. Shot goes wide left off the stick of Ryan Gick. Around the near corner, waiting is Wosey. Nick Wosey got the first goal of the game started. We now have 7, and it's 4-3 Moeller, 4.5 to play in the third. Crusaders pushing it down the ice. Again, that power play goal by Doxey took 55 seconds on the 5-on-4. Not only have the Bombers, there's a shot going into the glove of John Piowitz from the stick of Brady Shaw. Not only have the Bombers scored 2 power play goals in 2 opportunities, the Bombers really haven't needed that much time. It's about a minute and a half into 4 minutes. Of course, that's not scientific, but you get what I'm saying. Bombers have struck pretty early on their power plays. Around the near corner, the Bombers trying to fish it away, and Moeller looks for another one. Here's Berrigan, and cannot find Mercaldi in the slot. The Bombers use this time to push it towards the far corner, and that's going to be whistled icing on St. X. 3:56 to play in the third. It's 4-3 Crusaders. Shots on goal now favoring the Bombers by 7, 24-17. And the mark that favored Moeller after 1, 8-4. Favored St. X 16-15 after 2. Bombers with 2 goals outscoring the Crusaders by 1. There's a shot down low. John Piowitz traps the loose puck with an incoming Crusader. Namely Mercaldi again. Looks like the Crusaders are going to swap out Kale Shebeka for Ryan Lytle. Kale Shebeka was kind of skating a little gingerly back towards the Moeller bench, led by Kyle Fitzpatrick. Joe DiGiorgio is the head coach of the JV Bombers. And down this way goes the puck, and icing whistled against the Bombers again. 4-3 Moeller, 3:41 to play in the third. And there sits the Bombers band. Yours truly did not play band in high school nor in college. But I've always had a nice respect for bands. I think they add a lot to an environment. Flipped on the other side, looking for Ethan Gick. Stop far point Lytle. Off the end boards, retrieved again by St. X. 3.5 to play in the third. And a 4-3 Crusader advantage. Turnover, pushing through and dropping it for no one. Nick Wosey. Lytle's got it on the stripe line again. Closing on in for the Bombers, Adam Gilmore. He's got the first Bomber goal. Chipped on through, delayed offside against Moeller. Waved down quickly as the Bombers sweep in with Johnny Coburn. Coburn also an assist on Doxey's power play goal. Adam Gilmore can't clear it away. Stays alive for the Moeller offense. And just going wide by Brady Shaw. Nice defensive pressure there by St. X. 2:48 to play in the third. It's 4-3 Moeller, your score. Down this way comes Doxey! Tie game! Shot just past the blue line. It's Matt Doxey firing on home. And we're tied. Moeller got out to a 3-0 advantage, and St. X has outscored the Crusaders 4-1 at this point, and 3-1 in this frame. 2:41 remains in the third. 4-4 game, and the Bombers look for their first lead of the game.
An unassisted goal at 12:19 of the third period.
Kick forward right to a Bomber. Flipped off Kidd and settled back down. And that's the lead for St. X. A great feed. Knocked down with the hand and fired on past the left side of Kidd. The Bombers have taken their first lead of the game with 2:21 to go in the third. 5-4 Saint Xavier, your score here at the Heritage Bank Center. The closing moments of this third period. The JV squad now outscoring the Bombers 5-1 since the Crusaders went up 3-0 in the second period. Momentum is a funny thing in sports, isn't it? Patrick Crowley stripped away. Brian Driscoll, the go-ahead goal. Perrell, another assist. I think that's 2 for Perrell. If I'm missing one, that's a playmaker. Crusaders trying their best to clear it away, and we'll have a delayed penalty, and St. X is going to the box for interference. That doesn't mean St. X. That's an interference call, and the Bombers are now going to have to serve some time in the sin bin. Strangely enough, the bonus side of the scoreboard lit up, which is not in hockey. At least I don't think it is. And a timeout taken by the Bombers. St. X already used their timeout. The Bombers have their first lead of the game. Moeller got off to a 3-0 advantage. And St. X has outscored the Crusaders 5-1 the rest of the way. That is an impressive comeback by this JV Bomber squad. If that doesn't get you excited for the varsity game, I don't know what will. Here at the Heritage Bank Center, the home of the Cincinnati Cyclones, fans continue to file on here. It's free admission. The home of the Cyclones of the ECHL. Great seeing so many people here celebrating and supporting local high school hockey. That's the way it should be. High school hockey, there's not a lot of teams that play in Southwest Ohio. I'll tell you what, that's a darn shame. We'll have a face-off in front of John Piowitz. 5 for St. X. And the Bombers almost cleared away, but Moeller on the attack. Whiff on that shot right to a Bomber and skipping away on that clear. Interference called against St. X's Jack Perrell for the interference. And back this way, the Crusaders have a power play. 1:38 on the power play. There's 6 seconds less on the game clock. 1:28 to go in the third, and Kidd is still in his crease. And it looks like Kidd... There's a power play goal by Lytle! Lytle just tied it up with a power play goal. That power play taking 33 seconds. The Crusaders now 1 of 2. I saw on the bench that the coaching staff waved Kidd to come on in, but that doesn't matter as Lytle takes the power play goal into his own hands and fires it in, and we're tied again at 5. 10 goals in this game.
By number 15, Ryan Lytle.
Ryan Lytle, power play goal.
And number 18, Jake Hilkowitz.
Hilkowitz and Cannell get assists, which I believe that makes Cannell the playmaker. Near point, trapped by John Piowitz as the whistle comes in, and John Piowitz took exception right off the bat, but the two calmed down. Trying to go for that loose puck was Nick Wosey. We'll have a face-off to the right of John Piowitz after Moeller ties it up on a power play goal of their own. Face-off over to the right of John Piowitz, settled down by Joshua Herron. Towards the near corner, Moeller still on the attack. Kidd is still in his crease. 5-on-5, here's a blast just wide. Hilkowitz looking to get the Crusaders the lead again. Corner battle for Joshua Herron. One-timer chipped away, flipped forward, and now the Bombers taking flight in the neutral zone, but losing the handle was Brian Driscoll. He would have had the game-winning goal if Lytle didn't score that power play attempt. Hammered on the far side, settled down by Moeller's Hilkowitz. Pushed forward past the ref crease, and trapped by Joseph Piowitz at the far point. 15 seconds remain in a 5-5 game. St. X looking to get the win there. The far face-off circle, unable to do so. The Bombers have to maintain and get it back defensively. 3 seconds left, straight ahead, right to a Crusader defender. Up ahead, looking for Cannell, and that is 45 minutes. 45 minutes, and John Piowitz stretches down the crease. The Crusaders only managed 4 shots on goal in that frame to St. X's 11. And looks like there's no overtime here. It's a 5-5 tie between the Cincinnati Capital Hockey Conference teams. What a great turnout. What a great game by these JV squads. Again, this can be the future of Moeller and Saint Xavier hockey in the upcoming years. And I think both teams are going to be stocked for the upcoming future. 5-5, your scores. Ryan Lytle grasps the loss and turns it into a tie. Thanks for joining us here. We have the varsity game up next. Join us here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports in a little bit for St. X and Moeller on GCL Night. This is Lee W. Mallon signing off. And again, your final tonight, the Saint Xavier Bombers 5 and the Moeller Crusaders 5.